welcome back to your mat. Today's class is yoga for gardeners, which if you know me, you know that this topic is very close to my heart because I am a big gardener. So today, if you have a blanket at home, I'll have you grab that, and otherwise you can just use a towel or an old pillow. Really, it's just to give yourself a little cushion for your knees, and we'll do some back heart openers at the end of the class. And if you're not a gardener, then don't worry about it. You can still do this practice to enjoy things like hip openers and upper back openers and things for your neck. So please participate. Please enjoy. Let's get started in a seated meditation. So close down your eyes. Palms face down on your thighs. Exhale all of the air from your mouth. Inhale slowly through your nose. And sigh it out. Inhale fully. Exhale, release. Feel the spine grow tall. Feel your sits bones root down into the earth. Feeling the extension in the spine growing upwards towards the sun. Breathing fully in through the nose and out through the nose. Allowing the shoulders to move onto the back if they're rolled forward. And with each exhale, pull the navel towards your spine, creating strength and stability. Taking these first few moments of class to settle in and arrive. Feeling fully present and aware. Just noticing your surroundings, noticing how your body feels. And much like when we're working in the garden, cultivating presence and cultivating a gentle awareness on all that is. So let's find some movement. You can keep the eyes closed if you'd like, and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Doesn't have to touch, but just drop the head over to the side. Take a few deep breaths, full body breathing. Bringing the right hand to the outside of your head, lift the head up, and we'll go to the other side. Left ear towards the left shoulder, drop it down. And a few deep breaths into the right side of your neck. Left hand comes to the outside of the head, lift it up slowly, and we'll do some shoulder rolls. So bring the shoulder up towards the ear and then back and down, and let the other shoulder follow. Just bring some energy into those shoulder blades. Good, let's go the other direction. Shoulder rolls towards the front. Awesome. Bring your hands behind your head, elbows wide and bent, and lift the chest up. Bring the shoulder blades together. Pull the navel to the spine so you don't have to dump into the middle back. Keep the pelvis neutral. Take your hands and just slide them ever so gently up the back of your head. You'll feel some length in the back of your neck. Navel to spine. Good work. Let's move to palm presses. So taking your hands out in front of you, we'll move them in a way that feels like you're flicking water off of your fingers or flicking dirt off of your fingers. And we're just warming up the palms of your hands. And we do this because we spend so much of our time pulling off the weeds from our garden, using our hands to grip tools. So many things, right? Picking the tomatoes off the plant. Couple more. Maybe you'll start to feel that in the forearms. Good work. Shake it out. Some gentle twists. Bring the right hand behind you and bring the left hand across to the right knee. Inhale, look to the right. And exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Pull the navel to the spine as you exhale. Inhale, come out of the twist just a bit. And then exhale, turn. You don't have to crank down on the knee. Just let it be gentle here. We're just getting started. Turning forward and going to the other side. Right hand goes across, left hand goes behind. Take a breath in, look to the left. And on your breath out, look over the left shoulder. Good work. Inhale, release, and exhale, turn. Take another deep breath here. And turn forward. Let's go ahead and make our way onto all fours. You can use your blanket underneath your knees if you'd like, just giving yourself a little bit of cushion. Otherwise, just set the blanket to the side and you can always have it there for later. Widen your fingers on your mat, press down through all four corners of your palms and stack your hips over your knees. Inhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. Bring the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale, round the spine, push the floor away, look between your thighs. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, push the floor away, create space between the shoulder blades, navel to spine. Inhale, come forward, adjust if you need to, act like you're dragging those hands back as the collarbones come forward and through. Exhale, round the spine, push the floor away. And a couple more on your own, cat and cow. Opening up the spine. Come through neutral. Palm lifts. Keep all four of your fingers down on the ground and the thumb can just kind of hang out here. You're going to press down into the mounds of the fingers as you lift the palm up. And then exhale as the palm comes down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Waking up the hands. Keep the chin up and in. Good. You can shake out the hands. Bring your knees together. Take your feet over to the right and then sit the hips back and down as you walk your hands forward for a big side stretch, all on the left side. Breathe into the left side of the ribs and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Last one, breathe out. As you inhale, come forward. Exhale, bring the feet over to the left side this time. Sit the hips back and down and reach the arms towards the top of your mat. 3 deep breaths. On your next inhale, come forward. Swing the feet back behind you. Stack the shoulders over the wrist, fingers wide again, tuck your toes, and hover your knees up off the mat. They can be about hip width distance apart, so hover tabletop. Breathe. Firing up the legs. Chin up and in, belly engaged. A little bit of heat. Good work. Lower the knees down. Take the right knee back behind you and curl the foot in towards the glutes. You get this nice squeeze in the hamstring. You can even point the toe to bring some engagement in the foot. Swing the knee forward towards the tricep, out and around, and then back behind you. So big, big circles, like you're drawing a circle from floor to ceiling. One more, and then switch directions, bring it forward. Make sure that movement is coming all from the hip. One more, and set it down. We'll switch sides, lift the left knee up, swing it forward towards the tricep, out and around and back. So opening up the hip socket. And just getting all that synovial fluid moving around in there. One more, big circle. And then switch directions. The slower you move, the harder it will be. One more. Awesome. Set the knee down. Bring the knees wide. Keep the toes untucked as you let your chest come down, hips back, hands forward, and come to a child's pose. Rest the forehead down. You can shake out the wrists. Roll forward, find a tabletop. Hover the knees up off the mat. 3 breaths. Core engaged. One more. Walk the feet back, find a plank pose, and lift the hips up and back. Come to downward facing dog. So this is your first downward dog. You can wiggle and sway. Go ahead and bend and straighten the legs. Push the floor away with the palms. Engage the armpits. Maybe you sway the hips from side to side. Feel the whole sole of your foot. Feel how the ankle moves from left to right. Shake out the head. Bring the left foot to the center as you reach the right leg up and back. Bring the right foot forward and through in between your hands. Find your fingertips and then set your back knee down. Lift your arms overhead, come to a low crescent lunge, and bring your hands to your hips. So once you find your balance, you're going to squeeze your front heel towards your back knee and your back knee towards your front heel. So you'll get some engagement on the underside of the leg. Find a neutral pelvis as you lift up and extend through the top of the head. And as you do that, you'll feel the front of your thigh get a nice stretch, maybe even into the psoas, which is muscle that runs from the back of the body to the front of the body. So our lower back to the front of the hip. You may find a little pulse, Keep the front leg engaged, dragging the heel back, engages the hamstring. And then if you'd like, if you feel balanced, you can bring those arms back up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift your back knee and step the back foot forward, finding a forward fold. Let the head rest towards the earth. You don't have to touch the floor. Just letting the belly rest over the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Widen your toes along the mat, feet about hip width distance apart. On an inhale, bring your hands to your shins, shoulders lift away from the floor, top of the head reaches forward, nice long flat back. Pull the navel to the spine. So if you're rounding a lot here, see if you can lengthen out the back, pushing the top of your head towards the front of your room. Exhale, fold down. Come all the way up. Inhale, roll the spine one vertebra at a time. Shoulders come towards the ears and then bring them onto the back. Palms face forward, mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms up, reach towards the sky. Grab onto the right wrist and lean to the left. Inhale, both arms to the sky, and exhale, swan dive, arms go back, forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine, shoulders away from the floor. Exhale, plant the hands and step back. Find your plank pose. You can take your knees down if you'd like. Otherwise, keep them up and scapula push-up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then push the floor away. Squeeze and push. Squeeze, last one, push. Lower down, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga if you're already feeling warm. Untuck your toes, slide your hands forward, and come to a Sphinx pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Make sure that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Engage your belly, press your toenails down, and slide the chest through. So keep the core strong as you bring the collarbones forward. Take a breath in. And on your breath out, turn your head to the right side. Get a stretch along the scalene, so the front of the neck on the left side. Breathe in. Maybe you close the eyes and breathe out. Turn forward and we'll go to the other side. Look left. Press the right shoulder away so you get a nice stretch along the front of the neck. Inhale, look forward. Plant the hands and press up and back. We'll come to downward facing dog. Lift the hips to the sky. Let's go to the other side. Lift the left leg high and bring the foot forward and through. Plant the knee down and lift the arms overhead. You can bring your hips, you can bring your hands to your hips. And we'll feel that stretch. Engage the underline of the leg. So squeeze front heel to back knee to front heel. Neutral pelvis. Find all of that first, nice and stable. And then lift the arms overhead. So you should get the stretch all along the front right side of the body. Good. Bring your hands down. Lift your back knee and hop your right foot forward. Come to a forward fold. Halfway lift, super long spine. Top of the head reaches forward, belly in. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms overhead. And grab onto the left wrist and lean to the right. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, grab the right wrist, lean to the left. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, swan dive the arms down, forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine. Plant the hands and step back, plank pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades and push. Strong core. Squeeze and push. Scapula push up, one more. And push, then lower down however you'd like to get there. We'll come to our Sphinx pose. Slide the elbows forward And engage the belly. So strong on the front side of the body. Press the toenails down, shoulders back. Look right. And look forward, and then look left. Good, look forward. Slither down, plant the hands, press up and back, downward facing dog, lift the hips to the sky. Shake it out if you need to. All right, lift the right leg high. Bring the right foot between the hands, set the back knee down. Lift the arms up towards the sky. Reach through the fingertips, sink low in the hips. Grab onto the left wrist and lean over to the right. This time take your gaze underneath your armpit. Get a little bit more of a twist in the spine, just barely, and pull the navel in so you get the stretch all along the side of the body. Just opening all of that up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, cactus the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, cactus, lean back. Reach the arms to the sky and cactus and lean. Lift the arms up and bring your hands down to the inside of your foot. Kickstand your left foot over to the right and then walk your hands up and off to the left side of the mat and find a down dog shape in your upper body. So you'll feel the stretch on the inner line of your right leg. Press down through all four corners of your right foot. Really reach with the hands. Press down with the palms. Modified crouching tiger. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and then come back to the top of the mat, swinging your foot back on the mat. Heel toe your right foot over to the edge of the mat. Bring your heel in and your toe out. Lift your back knee and hop the left foot forward to the outside of the left wrist and come to a malasana. So for some of us, we may be a little bit higher. That's okay. Just let yourself find that sweet spot for yourself and bring your hands to your heart. Little twist. Bring the left hand down. Reach the right arm up. Open. And then bring the hands back to the center and switch sides. Right arm out, left arm reaches up. Twist. Bring both hands forward and then bring your hands to the mat. Lift your hips up, heel toe your feet in. Slide the hands underneath your feet so that your toes are right at your wrists. Bend the knees as much as you need to, and if you need to take the feet wider, you can always do that as well. So Padahastasana. And pada means feet, so it's the origin of this word, right? We're putting our feet onto our hands. Bend and straighten your legs. You'll start to feel that burn, push in the legs. We're doing lots of up and down while we're in the garden. So we want to keep our hamstrings healthy. We're massaging our hands and we're massaging our feet. So it's kind of a triple whammy pose here. Okay, let's take a break. Bring the hands out from underneath. Shake out the legs and find a forward fold. Come to a halfway lift, hands to shins, long spine. And lower down, head comes towards the earth. Grab on opposite elbow, opposite hand, and bend the knees a lot, so ragdoll. Coming into sundials, bring the left elbow to the left knee and slide that right elbow out to the side. You'll get a little bit of a side stretch here. Let the right elbow lead you up to the sky. Now your arms are over your head. I'll turn towards you so you can see. And then lead with the right elbow back down to the right knee and swing it back to center. So two more like that. Swing it out, up, and around. One more out, up, and around. So this time, we'll go the opposite direction. So right elbow to right knee, lift it up and over. And come back down. Out, up, and around. Good work. Let's lower the hands down. Take a halfway lift, long spine, shoulders lift up. And plant your hands, step back. Leave the right foot down, look forward through the arms, gaze up, let the hips sink down. Now plant your hands and step the right foot back, plank pose. Mountain climbers, knee comes to elbow, squeeze. So you should feel the burn here. You can always have the knees down in between. All right, so either you can lower down, knees, chest, and chin and take a cobra, or lower down halfway, untuck the toes and lift up to your upward facing dog. Wherever you're at, we'll come back to our chaturanga, press up to plank pose, bring the knees together, sit the hips back, and come to a closed knee child's pose. Let yourself arrive here and feel your breath. 2 more. A little more heat, roll forward and find downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Right foot to the center as the left leg lifts up, 3-legged dog. Left foot comes forward and through. Plant the foot between the hands and lift the arms overhead, low crescent lunge. Take a breath in, squeeze the legs. And on your breath out, sink a little lower in the hips, but pull the belly in. Grab onto your right wrist and lean over to the left. Take your gaze underneath the right armpit and feel the stretch along the right side of the body this time. As the navel comes in and the hips sink down and you reach up with the fingertips, you should feel a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Lift both arms up to the sky. And then cactus the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, lift. And exhale, cactus, lean back. Strong core, inhale. Exhale, cactus and lean. Good, lift the arms up and bring the hands down to the inside of the foot. Kickstand your right foot off to the left side and bring the hands to the right side of the mat as you take a down dog shape with your upper body. Feel that stretch to the inner right thigh. And breathe. Awesome. Bring the hands back on the mat. Bring your right foot onto the mat. Heel toe the left foot out to the side. Lift your back knee and hop the foot forward. Malasana. Sink the hips as low as you can go. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring the left hand down, right arm lifts as you come to a twist. You have deep hip flexion and twist in the upper back. Both hands come together and both hands open out wide. Good. Bring the hands back to your heart and then to the mat. Lift the hips, heel toe the feet in and slide your hands underneath. Start to bend and straighten the legs, Parahastasana. With a little bit of flow, a little bit of movement. All right, starting to feel the burn. Straighten just as much as you can, even if it's just a little movement, that's all right. Take the hands out and find a forward fold, shake it out. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins, long spine, top of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart this time, close the eyes. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Inhale, arms reach up, grab onto the left wrist and lean to the right. A little more side bending, inhale, and exhale to the left. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Halfway lift, long spine. Plant your hands and step back, come to a plank pose. Mountain climbers, knee to elbow. Keep your core strong, keep your chin up and in. Almost there. Okay, take an up dog or a cobra pose. If you're in up dog, lift your knees And then everybody meet in chaturanga again, pressing up and then back, downward facing dog. Bring the knees down and come to a closed knee child's pose. Walk your hands back and lift yourself up. So hopefully we feel pretty good, nice and warmed up. We've got our hips warmed up, got our shoulders warmed up. I think it's time for us to do a little bit of cool down. Stretching, everyone's favorite part, right? So if you want, you can use the blanket underneath your hips. I'm going to turn sideways because it's the best for the camera, but if you have enough room, you can just stay facing forward and we'll come to a wide leg forward fold. So feet out wide, just as wide as it feels comfortable. It's okay if the knees are bent, toes are up. And then we'll walk the hands forward, just as low as you can go, and bow the chin in. So even if you're up high and you stay in this shape, just bow your chin in, let yourself rest. And breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lift yourself up, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. So for the next two poses, you're welcome to stay either in this shape or you can move with me. So just figure out what works for your body. Take your right knee, lift it up towards the sky, bring it into your chest. Take the right knee and then bring it to the center and swing your foot back behind you. So you can either have the foot and knee closer to your other leg or you can have it farther back. You'll find what works for you. The toes are tucked back so the top of my foot is down, and it may feel better to take the blanket out. Take the left arm to the inside of your leg and reach the right arm up and over, so big arcing shape with the body like you're going to touch your toes. Look underneath the right armpit, and you may close the eyes down, but just take that gaze so that you're opening the chest out to the side. And we'll find a breath. And if you like to support your head, you can always do that. So we're stretching out all along the side of the body here. And this is nice because it works its way into the upper part of the hip and the glute, as well as the QL, or the quadratus lumborum, which runs from the top of your hips to the bottom of your ribs. And that muscle can get really tight, especially as we're working and moving and twisting and gardening. It's good to stretch it out. Okay, go ahead and lift yourself up. This next one's a little bit more into the QL. So you can keep your legs like this, or again, you can always go back into that wide leg shape. The wider you go with the knees, the more you might bring it more into the inner thigh on the right side. So just take a variation that works for you. You'll turn your chest towards the left foot and then walk the fingertips forward until you find a place where it feels like a good stretch, but not too hard, not too challenging. And we'll press the right hip down and away. So bring that stretch into the top of the hip and the low back, part of the glute. Maybe you feel it in the inner thigh, and of course along the hamstring on the left side. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and we'll switch sides. The right leg come out, bend the left knee and then swing it down, and we'll find our side stretch. Right hand to the inside of the right leg and lift the left arm up and over like you could touch your toes and look underneath the armpit. Maybe you support the head or just rest it down. Lifting yourself up. Let's go to our twisted variation. Walk your fingertips to either side of that right leg and start to come forward, pressing the left hip away as you find your hamstring stretch. Walk your fingertips back. Okay. So this is where we'll use our blanket. You just unfold it once and then you can make a little roll here. Set it lengthwise on the mat. And we'll set ourselves up so that we can lay down onto our blanket and it just goes up and down the spine. You can always have the knees bent here or you can let them come out long, and then you'll cactus the elbows and find a nice opening on the front of the chest. It's okay if your head is off of the blanket. I'm just a little bit short. We're opening the front of our chest so that whenever we're bent over and hunched over our plants, we have a little bit of counteraction to that. Let's roll off of our blankets and onto our backs. And just set the blanket off to the side. Bend your knees. Adjust your hips. Take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Coming to a figure four, reach through, grab behind the hamstring or the front of the shin. Getting a good stretch with your right hip. Just bring the feet into it. Take some ankle circles. You can point and flex the foot, maybe wiggle your toes. Release it down, and let's switch sides. Uncross the ankle. Bring the left ankle on top of the right knee, and we'll find the figure four variation that works for you. It's okay if the right foot is still on the floor. And then you can point and flex the feet, circle out the ankle, or wiggle the toes. Just a few more breaths here on this side. Release. Set the soles of the feet onto the mat and take your hands right at the base of your palm to the hip crease, pressing your hips away from you. A little bit of traction in the low back and in the hip joint. Release that pressure. Lift the hips up and bring them to the left just a few inches. Stack the knees and we'll find a good twist. You can take your arms out to a cactus shape again. Just enjoying these final shapes. Lift the knees up. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground and then bring the hips over to the right this time as you turn into a twist. Follow the breath in and out of the nose. If the mind is wandering at all, just bring it back. Bring it back to the feeling of the breath. Bring it back to the feeling in the body. Lifting the knees. We will go to Shavasana from here, letting the legs go long. Roll the shoulders underneath your back and let your palms face up towards the sky. If you'd like, you can put your blanket underneath your knees for a little extra support. And if it feels okay, go ahead and close down the eyes. And you can spend the last few moments of class with your imagination being in your garden. Let yourself walk through your garden and admire all of the hard work that you've done. smiling and giving a nod to each flower, each beautiful fruit, or new bit of growth on a plant. And if you are doing this practice with us today and you do not currently have your own garden, take yourself to a garden that you would love to have. A beautiful outdoor space with flowers and plants. Maybe you have animals. Let yourself admire it. Take it all in, each sound, the texture of the plants and the earth underneath your feet. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, circle out the wrists and the ankles. Reach your arms overhead and stretch from top to bottom. And then roll over to one side. Slowly press yourself up, find a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart. May we all find admiration and deep understanding of our inner nature, just as we find it in our outer worlds, in our gardens, and on our mats. To the practice of yoga and to the divine light in you, I bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to my page. It would mean the world to me, and I'm just so happy to share this practice with you. So I will see you next time.